going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I'm back here in Ortigas Center between Pasig and Mandaluyong. You know, it's bordering between those two cities, and this is actually the second most important business district in Metro Manila after Makati. You know, a lot of people, they focus on BGC and Makati, but this is here is pretty important, and they have some of the main headquarters around here, and a lot of high-rise buildings and modern malls. You know, there's a lot to see around here, and I love coming here. So I'm gonna do a little walking tour. You know, I think I've been here like 2 times, so it's like an update video to see what's going on. And I'm gonna take it easy, because right now it's 96 degrees, but it feels like 113 degrees with this roughly 45 Celsius, so very hot and humid. But the good thing, we have like 4 major malls, so if I feel like I need to take a break from the heat, I'm just gonna shelter inside the mall and start my walking tour around here to see what's going on. So I'm gonna start my walk over that way, and then I'm gonna merge deep into the city center by Opal Street, where they got the little mini park, and that's like the center of Ortigas, and then walk towards where the Shangri-La Center is and wrap up the video over there. So without further ado, join me. So I'm inside the Podium Mall. Pretty nice, you know, fashionable mall and modern. And the good thing about Ortigas, they got many malls around here, so I can shelter from this brutal heat outside. So like the main icon, multi-level floors, you know, and pretty modern, futuristic mall. But now I'm just gonna hit the streets and brave the heat and explore more beautiful Ortigas, which I love it out here. Been here multiple times, so I thought I would do like an update video of what's happening in this business district. You know, here you see how wide the streets are and modern buildings. If you keep going over there, they're developing much more. So I'm gonna walk towards that way, because that's where they got the Robinsons Galleria. One of the main Robinson malls out here. I'm probably gonna go inside and get a little bit of aircon too, because this heat is literally no joke, you know. But I got prepared. I drank a lot of water. I sprayed some sun spray in my body, and I'm wearing a hat. Even though I'm not calvo, I have hair, but trying to protect my hair from the hot weather out here. So, and then another thing I noticed, I don't know if it's like smog, like the buildings are nearby, but you can't really see it clear. Maybe that's what happens when the heat comes. There's supposed to be like some storms coming for the next few days. I heard when the storms come, that's when it gets like brutally hot over here, even though we're in May. But let's continue exploring beautiful Ortigas Center. And over here, lots of traffic jams. Loving the modern buildings over here. Then they got 2 MRT stations, which is by Shaw Boulevard and Ortigas. So good way to connect through EDSA and other parts of Metro Manila. And this over here is Opal Street. This will take you straight into the heart of the park. But we're gonna make it there later. Right now I'm gonna focus on walking straight over here to see what's going on. And the funny thing about this, without the traffic jam, this district is not even far from Makati and Bonifacio Global City. Like if you look at the map, it literally looks like if they're connecting to each other like in a cross. So they're not far. I say this is what usually composes of Metro Manila. Many business districts all over. Here, Pasig, Mandaluyong, Quezon City, they have Araneta, they have Vertis North, which is the previous video that I covered right here. But yeah, this over here is, like I say, if you go to Mega Mall, which is the biggest mall out here in Ortigas, that's the Mandaluyong side. But over here, I'm in Pasig City. And they also got another new mall that they built in Pasig, which is the Opus Mall. And they're building another business district called Bridgetown. So in the future, that business is gonna be really good, because they have, you know, a river over there. So I think it's gonna be epic. And in a few years, I'll cover to see what has been going on over there. And then ahead of me is Robinson's Galleria, and you can see the modern building. This looks like the Flatiron building in New York, but Metro Manila version, you know, a little bit of a similar concept. And of course, a lot of traffic. Scaffolding here because they're building. Then another cool thing about this business district, I feel like it's pretty chill, you know. It has all the modern high-rise buildings, hotels and malls, but it's not like crazy and hectic like other areas in Metro Manila. Like it's like a urban oasis, you know, and pretty developed. So I feel like more people need to venture and check out this neighborhood out here. And it's also a good area to stay in Metro Manila. You know, they got a lot of hotels, Crown Plaza, Holiday Inn. But I think they're a little bit more pricier than other areas too. But you can just search around online to see what can you find. So lots of developments going on. I think if you go this way is where the MRT stop is. Then that building is EDSA over there, and then they got like a big statue, I think of Virgin Maria at the end of Robinson's Galleria. And then more over here, this is how Ortigas, you know, it composed up. But they got an overpass there that I can cross to the other side. So I'm probably gonna take a little tiny break from the heat, walk around the mall a little bit, you know, just to protect myself from 113 degrees or 45 Celsius out here. I forgot to mention that one of the main headquarters out here in Ortigas is San Miguel. You know, San Miguel is actually a big corporation in Metro Manila, so they have the headquarters over here. I'm just walking a little bit forward to show you like the Twin Towers of Metro Manila, which is right next to Mega Mall. You know, they got a huge, massive Mega Mall that's going some major renovations, and then on top they got skyscrapers are being built up. You know, so like a pretty different vibe. You know, here's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to walk here because you avoid getting the cable wires that kind of block the view, but these are some of the skylines over here. I made it to this side, which is at the highway right here, pretty busy. And I think this area over here is actually Quezon City, like a little borderline, then it goes straight towards, you know, an area called White Plains, which is pretty wealthy, and then Camp Aguinaldo over here is what you usually see, the skyline of Ortigas. I just wanted to see this area because I've never been by on foot. And here you see the statue, I think it's being renovated. You know, the Virgin Maria piece, and then some of the skylines of Ortigas. Here on the other side, I'm gonna do a detour in the road ahead of me, which is called Garnet Road. I'm not gonna walk the entire length, but I just want to show you like what this regular street actually looks like. You know, at some points it kind of reminds you a little bit like if you're in Makati, but like I say, much more chill over here. A little bit of a smaller neighborhood, but I think it's actually pretty interesting to come and walk. Like I say, the heat today is brutal. But yeah, here I made it to the road, and so far it's looking actually pretty nice. This is the road over here, you know, like I say, not too many crowds. And today is a weekday, it's actually Thursday. And you see people are out and about. I think it's gonna be actually busier when I walk in the middle of the street. But it's like the same concept as Makati. Like once you exit Ayala, you get this. Regular streets that are not too wide, but they're filled up with tall skyscrapers. Thing here is a hotel, Gold Hotels. So, you know, they have a lot of decent hotels here for you to stay. And then, you know, you are not too far from Makati, BGC. A little bit further from the airport, you know, because you're gonna have EDSA, and the traffic over there is just crazy. But like I say, you know, it depends on what you're looking for. It's a decent area to stay if you're gonna be a few days in Metro Manila. And there's more over this side. See, buildings are super high up. Just like the one, see? And they're building this one. Like I mentioned in my previous videos, it's one of my top 3 favorite districts in Manila. Of course, Makati, BGC, and then this one. Here I like it because it's super chill. Like the vibes are chill. And you don't really see much foreigners out here comparing to the other business district. But yeah, if you come here on a Sunday, it's actually quiet. This is the main street, I think. The Ortigas Jr., F. Ortigas, and it goes center. I'm probably gonna walk from here instead of going the other side around. Here's like the heart of it all. Then you got this, you know, wide streets, well paved. And I'll show you a little bit over here because I never walked through this side. And this over here can take me all the way to C5. And then this over here, I think it's a medical arts area. I'm not sure if it's like the headquarters. It could be, but it's a nice looking building. Looks like a parliament, you know. It's funny because I just noticed that building now, even though I've passed here many times. Because when you're in the Grab, you don't really pay much attention what's around here, but it's much different when you're walking a neighborhood than on a car or something, because you get to admire the neighborhood actually a little bit better. Also, not only is Ortigas, but the name of this barangay is San Antonio. Not San Antonio, Texas, shout out to Jair, but yeah, it's crazy how a lot of areas over here in Metro Manila or in the Philippines, they have literally like Spanish names. I'm just gonna walk back and explore like the heart of it and pass like the little mini park. Like I said, I don't think I walk in this side. I always go in the other side, but gotta try to explore the most off of it. And then I think towards that way, they're gonna have at least 2 Metro Manila subway station stops. It's gonna be open like in a couple of more years. There used to be a Tim Hortons over here, but they closed it down. But I'm loving how modern the buildings are right here. Look at the buildings here. So you see, you can really find nice developed areas in Metro Manila, not just in Makati. So a pretty chill area to stay. And then this is kind of like the semi-Ayala Avenue of Ortigas. Even though it's not too big, but it's like in the center of it. and you can see like a nice layout of architecture and buildings. I like how it looks like with the palm trees. It kind of makes it feel like if you're a little bit on Florida, like Miami version, but you know, probably even better because we're here in the Philippines. Beautiful tropical country with amazing people. And then here you see what's going on, you know, wide streets. And then this is what I'm talking about, the nice buildings and the palm trees. Oh, they're gonna open a Mangin outside right there. And then they got Sue's Coffee, one of my favorite coffee joints. They have them in Southeast Asia, like in Malaysia. And then you see how nice the street is. Seems like they renovate this, you know, like it fits. I know the street is always nice and paved, but I don't remember seeing it nice like this. Wow, they got a coffee shop, so it's not just like a financial area to work. They got restaurants out here and things to do. And then PLDT, this is like a internet connection. I have this service right in my condo. So, and you see, we're just literally surrounded by tall buildings, and that's a little tiny park, Ortigas Park. Not too big. So I'm gonna walk over there and then I'm gonna turn back to show you the remaining of this area right here. This is tiny Ortigas Park, but it's a pretty interesting connector to the other side. We got some, you know, mural over here, Green Hills Shopping District, some of the statues and monuments. Then it goes to the other side and you continue seeing some high-rise buildings. I wish there was actually more parks around here. Like I say, Metro Manila could really benefit opening up, you know, more parks. Besides many malls and high-rise buildings, they need to manage to balance it out with greenways. That way it can help out with the environment and the weather. So here would take me towards where I was walking. So I'm just gonna do one block and then turn back to show you how nice the buildings look like over here. Nice looking glass building, as you can see. I think you already see what's going on. I'm just gonna walk back here to the other side and show you what's happening, and then continue my way towards where the overpassage is and get some nice shots of the street over here. That's beautiful. And here you see how nice the street is. Nice, impeccable and clean and pretty wide. And they managed to have the palm trees over here and a couple of restaurants in the first level. This one has like an outdoor sitting area, so it's good to have your food and enjoy like city views. Yeah, I see like a Burger King in the other area. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of reminded me of some of the streets that I walk in Singapore. Even Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, kind of resembles a little bit of that. So it's crazy how you go to many of these Southeast Asian cities and you go to different areas and they have a lot of resemblance with each other. I ain't gonna lie, I even see a little bit of resemblance of Jakarta too in Indonesia. Let's walk straight forward towards where the overpassage is. Because once you make it on top, they have like a little park or a plaza. And then if you walk in the center, in the middle, you get the view of this entire street that I'm walking. So far, believe it or not, the heat is not really bothering me today, even though it's pretty high, but not sure. Maybe because it's not sunny or maybe it's not too humid, so it doesn't feel that uncomfortable so far. But let's see once I make it towards the other way how my body is gonna react. So got like a parking for cars and motorbike, but maybe in the future they'll develop a high-rise building, or they could benefit, like I say, opening up another local park. So I just keep walking straight towards where this plaza is. But yeah, I'm glad that I came back here. I've been wanting to come back. I was gonna come yesterday, but got busy, you know, with other things to do. But I came here to cover the area to see what has been happening lately over here in Ortigas. So I don't know if you can see it clearly. It says 96, but it feels like 111, which is roughly about 40 degrees Celsius, I think. So it is hot, but like I said, I'm not feeling it comparing to other days. I even forgot that it was brutally hot until I saw the weather. But so far I'm handling it. Maybe because I prepare for it, you know, wear a hat, drink a lot of water and spray all over your body. My fiance, God bless me, she sprayed me like this type of spray that cools off your back and you don't sweat that much. So, you know, I'm surprised that I'm handling it pretty well. So, little tricks that you find over here in the Philippines. Yes, once you make it on top, this is what you get over here. A little plaza. But I want to walk over here to show you the view of the street that I was walking, which is right here. See, and there it is, the heart of Ortigas. Here they have an overpassage. I always go on the other side, but I never walk through this side. And you can see some of the buildings with greenery over here. So it seems like it connects you to the other side of this area, this neighborhood. But so far it's looking pretty beautiful. I see a sign that says Pasiga. This is Pasiga over here. Pasiga is massive, but if you make all of this cities and municipality all together, it composes Metro Manila, which is huge and massive. But yeah, I'm just gonna turn back. I think I'm gonna head towards Mega Mall. I don't think I'm gonna film inside the mall, but I just wanna go there, get some aircon, and that's probably gonna shortcut me towards the Shangri-La area where I wanna wrap up the video over here. You know, it's been a pretty awesome evening filming out in Ortigas. And then you can see the overpassage, how it keeps going. And then they got a couple of construction buildings like this one. So little by little, they keep on developing more of the area, which I think, in my opinion, is a pretty underrated district, but it's the second most important business district out here in Metro Manila. So, you know, the heart of it all, right here in the borderline of Mandaluyong and Pasig. And I like how they got these overpasses here that connects you, covers you from the heat and from the rain if it rains hard out here. The overpasses keeps going on. I'm gonna try to make it to the Skinita, because you can see a little view of some skyscrapers ahead of me, which is where Mega Mall is and Shangri-La is. And then on the other side is where they got EDSA and the MRT stations. The prime example, I see an empty lot here, so I'm not sure if they're gonna build something. But that's a mall that I was walking. Podium, and then these twin tower buildings right in the back. So two tall buildings surround the Podium Mall in the center. Over here you can cross to have another headquarters, and then more buildings that are by the Shangri-La. I think that's the San Miguel Headquarters right there. So when you pass by it, you know it's gonna be like a private looking area. And here, look at the traffic. Not too bad now, it piles up more later. If I keep walking there straight, it will take me towards Mega Mall. I just want to get the view of the buildings in this side over here. I think you guys are gonna like it. But pretty cool idea and cool concept to have this bridge here connecting you to the other side, you know? That way I could cross and walk around in peace without worrying about the brutal heat or hot weather. Let me see if I can get some shots over this side. Like I said, I think that's the headquarters, then Shangri-La Hotel and the malls underneath, two buildings, and then Mega Malls over this side. And this is Podium right here, so pretty cool area to explore. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit the street level again and walk all the way towards Mega Mall. I haven't been there in a long time, but I know it's going some major big renovations, and they just developed like a little tiny bridge that connects you to the bus terminal, and I think the MRT area too. So there's a lot like the one they have by SN North, EDSA. So yeah, let's make it towards the other side to see what's happening. And here, like always, busy traffic jam, motorbike, cars, buses. The area keeps going over that way, but we're gonna merge towards here. Here you can see some of the modern buildings of Central Ortigas. I'm just waiting for the light change, and I'm gonna walk straight into Mega Mall. There's another barangay here, Barangay Wakwak Green Hills, one of the wealthiest barangay. I didn't know it started over here, but it goes all the way towards where the Green Hills Mall is in San Juan, which is another municipality here in Metro Manila. Here, if you keep walking, one of the biggest malls in the Philippines, Mega Mall. The biggest one is Mall of Asia, but this is one of the largest. I think in the top 10 too. But I'm not gonna film inside, I'm just gonna shortcut and shelter from the brutal heat out here. So I'm outside by Mega Mall. I wanted to show you the new busway that they built that connects you this side with the bus terminal without you having to go all the way towards the other side. It's like a nice shortcut over here. Just similar architecture to the one they built by North Avenue. But this is it right here. Gonna go up. And then they'll take you there if you need to take the bus, you know. You can literally shortcut. So now they got this stop over here, Mega Mall. Before I think it was Ortigas and all the way in the other side by Shaw Boulevard, but now you can take the bus through here, if I'm correct. And this is it. Small, but pretty nice, you get the idea. So now I'm just gonna head back into the mall and shortcut to the other side. Now I'm outside here, look at the heavy traffic jam from EDSA. Pretty crazy. I think that's the only bad thing of Mega Mall, like the location right here in the heart of it. I used to live in Cubao before, and one time I tried to take a Grab from here, and no luck, so I ended up taking the bus. We walk all the way to take the bus with my family, but now we're gonna walk over here towards where Shangri-La area is. I'll probably walk around the area and then wrap up the video. I was surprised that the heat didn't really bother me or cut me that much today. So, feels good, but you can see a little bit of action going on here in the street. And once you walk over here, Shangri-La's will be over that way, and that's where the MRT station is. And then once you pass Shaw Boulevard, it's the other area that I filmed, Greenfield District, which I already made a challenge walking from Bonifacio Global City all the way to Greenfield. And it was actually a good walk. The only bad thing was just the heat going on. You see the MRT passing by. But pretty cool, busy area over here. Just trying to show you the outside. You see the traffic jam in some of the high-rise buildings right here. You see how nice the sidewalk is. So yeah, this is still part of Ortigas. And there's a sign that says Shangri-La. So it's a mall divided in two. They got the east wing and then like the main one, the main atrium. But I don't think it's really allowed to film in the inside. But I'm just showing you at least the outside, what it looks like. So if you go here, it's kind of like the mini semi-business district in the inside. It's like a pedestrian area for you to cross. Now I'm walking over this way, kind of like the same concept of Mega Mall. They have an over passage that connects you to two angles of the mall. This is what it looks like on the other side. I think if I keep walking towards the end, it's where they got the high-end hotels. I think there's like 3 or 4 Shangri-La in the Metro Manila district. They have an idea what I'm talking about. And here you see outdoor sitting areas, even modern buildings right here. So yeah, I think this is like another entrance right here. And if you're going the other way, it would take me to the main area that would take me back deep inside into Ortigas Center. But a pretty lovely area right here. It's like little mini central business districts together in central business districts. See how nice they keep the fountains over here? Nice and gorgeous. Let me see if I can get a little bit forward. I never walked towards that way to see what can I capture. And behind me you see some of the high-rise buildings. So I'm not sure if it's like multiple buildings all together that composes this area, you know. Like I say, this is actually part of Ortigas, and there's another building right here. I'm just trying to walk to the other side and go around and do my outro, like pass by Shaw Boulevard. And then even over here, you see how nice, well-paved the road is. There's another place that's called Estancia, and more ahead will be Capitol Commons. I'm just exiting the entrance of Shangri-La, so now I'm just gonna go around the other way. There's a Westin Hotel right behind me, and then ahead of me, this is Shaw Boulevard, and then the other side will be the Greenfield District, which is another cool district that I'll film. And then as you see, traffic jam piling up. I took the Grab to get here, but now I think I'm just gonna take the MRT towards Guadalupe and walk back. Gonna avoid the traffic jam. Hopefully the MRT is not really chaotic and packed. Probably gonna be, it's already 3 o'clock, but I think if you take a little bit more towards the rush hour, it'll be intense and crazy, but this is what you get over here. And that's why, you know, the traffic in Metro Manila is just in another sort of level. You see the buildings there, it says Twin Oaks Place, Greenfield District. And then the Mayor Shaw Boulevard, which I walk here, the other side, when I was walking all the way towards Mandaluyong. So this boulevard connects you to many business districts like Ortigas, Greenfield. Then over that way, if I keep going straight, one side is Capitolio, then the other way is Capitol Commons. So yeah, but the traffic is very nasty right now. I don't know if you can see it. Like over here, see a jeepney. People trying to come into the area is just insanity. Let me see if I show you a 360 view. Crazy right now. And I'm just gonna walk towards the entrance of Shangri-La and wrap up my video over there. So far, I think I did well, and the heat didn't really bother me that much today. So, like I say, maybe because it's not super humid, or maybe the gray sky is covering like the cloud. But I think I already seen enough for today, you know. Gonna figure where can I film in the next upcoming days, you know. Like I say, so much to film. Then I'm probably gonna make my way back again towards the province to film in some of the nature areas out here. But that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.